Welcome back to Tech Advantage, the podcast where we talk about technology, business, and personal growth. I'm your host, Tondow Abraham, co founder Blue Mind Technologies, and today we're going to be talking about documentation and community. So, now, documentation. I know that a lot of techies and developers listening would immediately just think about technical manuals for programming languages or stacks, as well as README files. But that isn't really what we'll be talking about today. We'll be talking about documentation in the sense of putting your work out there. It's so easy, to achieve a project, like being able to complete a project and then put out the final results out there to the public so that they can then, contribute, fed, and do that. But today I want to talk about documenting the whole process and the journey in any product or project that you embark on. Think about it. Every time you share what you're building, someone else is learning from your journey. Every time you post a challenge you face, someone out there realizes that they're not alone. And every time you put your work out there, opportunities you never imagined start coming your way. Now, most of these things might seem so vague because a lot of us don't even see this as essential, but it really is. And even outside of the fact that you're helping someone out there, you're able to, track back and see the process of your growth. Imagine you going 5 years backwards and everything you've done for the past 5 years of your life, you're able to see it maybe on a social platform, you've put it out there, or maybe a blog you created for yourself. When you do all of that and you're then able to see, okay, am I even growing? Am I making progress? Because you have good amount of resourceful track back records. Now, for me, this became real when I started showing up at developers events, communities, and all of that. Just by talking about the work that I was doing when I was at those places, I'm able to connect with a lot more people. So I am then now committed to doing that on a social space. I can't really say I'm seeing the outcome to all of that immediately, but I know I'm just at my early stages of documentation, but so far I feel so energized to keep doing this. So now I'm going to tell you guys something that I had studied from a book recently. So I'm sure a lot of you do know Salem. He's an Instagram content guy, very big guy. And I've been a big follower of him since 2024 when I met him at TMCon at an event. So he taught us about the essence of building communities and all of that. He recently shared a book to his Instagram, Show Your Work. And I bought this book about 6 months ago and I've read it a couple of times. But I am now reading the book again because I'm trying to understand the essence and the reason why we ought to do the things that are emphasized on the book. So I'm just going to randomly open any page on this book and just read to you guys a short clip on it. Send out a daily dispatch, page 47. Overnight success is a myth. Dig into almost every overnight success story and you'll find about a decade's worth of hard work and perseverance. Building a substantial body of work takes a long time, a lifetime, really, but thankfully, you don't need that time all in one big chunk. So forget about decades, forget about years, forget about months, focus on days. The day is the only unit of time that I can really get my head around. Seasons change, weeks are completely human-made, but a day has a rhythm. The sun goes up, then the sun goes down. I can handle that. Once a day, after you've done your day's work, go back to your documentation and find one little piece of process that you can share. Where you are in your process will determine what that piece is. If you're in a very early stage, share your influences and what's inspiring you. If you're in the middle of executing a project, write about your methods and share in progress. If you're just completing a project, show your final products. Share crafts from the cutting room or write about what you learned. So, yeah, that's from the book. And if you had followed, you'd understand that it's just telling you the essence to documenting your journey, putting your work out there, and not being invisible on the internet space. So, now, moving forward, when you think about the essence of community, so many people think about creating communities as a method of gathering a whole bunch of people to take them on a certain route of course or manuals and stuff. But I understand from this book that community building just comes as a result of putting yourself out there, your work out there, and the whole process to whatever you're trying to achieve. Because then most of the people that would engage on the things you share are people that are of a similar mind as yourself, or people that want to learn something that they think you have to offer. So that is how I see what community is. And at the early stages, so many people consider the numbers as essential. So when they come to engage on the social platform, they just want to see, okay, 1,000 views, 1,000 comments, and all of that numbers. But if you're looking to document your journey, you'd understand that it's a whole long process to it, and there's no like a final destination. As long as you just stay alive, you just keep doing all you keep doing, you keep putting your work out there, you just keep documenting. And the more you keep engaging on all of this, you put yourself out there to so much kind of opportunities that would then be massive. No one knows the outcome that could be out of putting your work out there. It's just an infinite possibility. So, on documentation, Mr. Bernard, the CEO of BitNup, told us that how he was able to like get huge fundings. He published an article on Google. I didn't really get the whole information to what the content was on the article, but I am certain he spoke about his intention to build stuff, something relating to Bitcoin builders. And according to what he said, he was able to get access to about $50,000 as a result of writing that article and publishing it on Google. He said that that post got a lot of traction and a lot of people just get commenting and sharing the article until it got to some big ears and they then decided to fund the idea. So that you can just think about it. There's so many things that could come out of putting your work out there. Even rather than getting access to big opportunities, you're also being an opportunity to someone else that listens to your voice, hear what you have to say, take down any note that you share, and they're able to also grow. So this brings us to the end of this podcast, and I just want to leave you with a certain note. As you strive to do any great thing with your life, you might have big intentions on any aspect in tech, in business, and all of that. If you're able to document every process of the journey, you're able to leave a blueprint. Now, me doing this podcast is my own way of putting myself out there. I'm just doing this to document, and I want to go back and listen to all that I have said after a span of period, while I also give you guys good information and make you feel motivated. Do stay tuned on Tech Advantage, and since we're trying to make technology an advantage to us, we need to utilize all of this in an intentional manner. Using all of the social tools that we have access to, put our work out there, is taking advantage of technology itself. So thank you for listening to the podcast today. And I do look forward to putting out the next episode next Thursday. Do have a wonderful week and stay blessed.